The Galactic Collaborative Academy stood as a monument to interspecies cooperation, its crystalline spires reaching toward the violet sky of Nexus Prime. Within its walls, young beings from 100 worlds learned the ways of diplomacy, science, and peaceful coexistence. It was into this sanctuary of learning that Professor Zixthar, a distinguished Velkarian scholar, led her xenobiology class on what should have been an ordinary morning. The students, a mixture of gaseous Ithrians, crystalline Krell, and herbivorous Planari, settled into their anti-gravity seats as the professor activated the holoprojector. Today's lesson concerned predator-prey dynamics in primitive ecosystems, a subject most civilized species found academically interesting but personally distant. Their evolutionary ancestors had long since abandoned such barbaric survival mechanisms. Among them sat Marcus Chen, the only human in the cohort, and one of merely 37 humans attending the academy across all programs. His species had only joined the galactic community 3 years prior, and their presence still generated considerable curiosity and, among some, unease. Today, Professor Zixthar announced, her translator converting her ultrasonic speech into understandable wavelengths, we have arranged a special demonstration. Our specimen is a Krath, an apex predator from the quarantined death world of Krath 7. The classroom's environmental barriers shimmered into existence, creating a transparent containment field in the center of the room. A door hissed open and the Krath entered. It was magnificent and terrible. Standing nearly 3 meters tall on 4 muscular legs, its scaled body rippled with predatory grace. 6 eyes, each capable of independent tracking, scanned the room with cold intelligence. Rows of serrated teeth lined a jaw that could crush titanium plating. Its claws scraped against the floor with each step, leaving gouges in the reinforced surface. The reaction was immediate and instinctual. The Ithrians compressed into tight, terrified spheres. The Krell's crystalline structures flickered with alarm signals. Several Planari collapsed, their evolutionary shock paralysis triggering despite millions of years of civilization. Even Professor Zixthar's chromatophores displayed distress patterns she couldn't fully suppress. Every being in that room felt it, the primal terror that came from being in the presence of something designed by evolution to kill. Every being except one. Marcus Chen leaned forward in his seat, his eyes bright with fascination. While others trembled, he studied the creature with the intense focus of genuine interest. His heart rate, monitored by the Academy's biometric systems, remained steady. His pupils dilated not with fear but with curiosity. Remarkable, he murmured, and several nearby students recoiled at his calm tone. The Krath's 6 eyes swiveled toward Marcus. It had detected the absence of fear pheromones from this strange bipedal creature. In its experience, anything that didn't fear it was either prey too stupid to recognize danger or a threat to be eliminated. The Krath moved closer to the barrier near Marcus's position, its nostrils flaring as it analyzed his scent. What happened next would be discussed in xenopsychology classes for decades to come. Marcus stood slowly and approached the containment field. The professor's translator squawked in alarm, but Marcus raised a hand in a gesture of reassurance. He stopped just centimeters from the barrier, eye level with the predator's central visual cluster. And then Marcus smiled. It wasn't a smile of aggression or challenge. It was the smile of someone appreciating a work of evolutionary art. The Krath, confused by this response, tilted its massive head. Its threat display intensified, scales standing on end, jaw opening to reveal all those terrible teeth, a low growl that vibrated through the floor itself. Marcus didn't flinch. Instead, he began to speak, his voice calm and measured. "You're beautiful, you know that? Look at that skeletal structure, perfectly designed for explosive acceleration. And those eyes, that sensory integration must be incredible. I bet you can track multiple prey simultaneously while calculating intercept trajectories." He turned slightly toward the class, still maintaining visual contact with the Krath. "This isn't a monster, everyone. It's a success story. Millions of years of evolution created the perfect hunter." The Krath stopped growling. Its head tilted further, processing this bizarre interaction. In its world, creatures either fled, fought, or froze. This thing did none of those. It showed appreciation. "Professor," Marcus continued, his eyes never leaving the predator, "the musculature suggests ambush tactics rather than endurance hunting. Am I right? And that thermal pit between its second and third eye cluster. That's for tracking warm-blooded prey in darkness, isn't it? Professor Zixthar, still displaying stress colors but intellectually engaged despite her instincts, managed to respond. You are correct, human Marcus. The Krath evolved in the deep jungles of their homeworld, where visual hunting was limited. But how did you... Your species has never encountered a Krath before. No, Marcus agreed, finally stepping back from the barrier, though he maintained his relaxed posture. But Earth had plenty of apex predators. Still does. Tigers, sharks, crocodiles, polar bears. We share a planet with creatures designed to hunt and kill. We study them, protect them, even admire them. He paused, a slight grin crossing his face. Some humans even keep smaller predators as companions. We call them cats and dogs. The classroom erupted in confused chatter. The concept seemed insane. Voluntarily cohabitating with predators? A plenary student, still trembling, managed to speak. But how do you suppress the fear? The terror is overwhelming. It's biological, isn't it? Marcus considered this carefully. We feel it. Fear is a useful emotion. It keeps you alive. But humans come from a world that forced us to move beyond simple fear responses. Earth is what you classify as a Class 7 death world. Everything there is either trying to kill you, eat you, poison you, or infect you with something that will kill you slowly. He said this matter-of-factly, as though discussing the weather. Our ancestors didn't have the luxury of pure flight responses. We weren't the fastest, strongest, or most naturally armed. We survived by being smart, adaptable, and by learning to manage our fear. We studied the predators that hunted us, learned their patterns, and eventually figured out that predators aren't evil. They're just doing what they evolved to do. Just like we did what we evolved to do. Think, adapt, and occasionally make friends with former threats. The Krath had been watching this entire exchange with what might have been its version of fascination. It moved along the barrier, following Marcus as he walked back to his seat. When Marcus sat down, the predator settled onto its haunches, eyes still fixed on the human. Professor Zixthar's chromatophores slowly returned to normal academic colors. This is unprecedented. In 17 years of conducting this demonstration, no student has ever approached the barrier. Most require psychological support afterward. Marcus shrugged. With respect, Professor, maybe that's because most species in the galactic community evolved on relatively gentle worlds. They outgrew their predators or never really had any. Humans were still living with ours. We never forgot that nature has teeth and claws. We just learned to appreciate the artistry of it. As the class concluded and the Krath was led away, but not before taking one last, long look at Marcus, the other students began to view their human classmate with a new understanding. The humans weren't fearless, they realized. They were something perhaps more remarkable. They had learned to acknowledge their fear, respect the source of it, and proceed anyway with curiosity and rational thought. Later, in the Academy's data archives, this incident would be filed as Exhibit 247H in the ongoing assessment of humanity's suitability for galactic community membership. The conclusion added to the report was simple but profound. Humans possess the rare ability to recognize danger while maintaining intellectual curiosity and emotional stability. This may explain their rapid technological advancement despite originating from a hostile world. Recommendation: humans would make exceptional first contact specialists for dangerous or primitive species. Further study required, but initial assessment is highly favorable. Marcus never saw that report. He was too busy preparing his next presentation, a comparative analysis of Earth's ocean predators and their potential parallels in known xenobiology. He had a theory about great white sharks and their possible connection to the mysterious aquatic species of Thalassia prime, and he couldn't wait to share it. After all, predators were just another form of life trying to survive, and if there was one thing humans understood, it was survival with style.